everybody. In today's video, I'm going to give you an update on Celeste and what's been going on with her since the last time I spoke. I'm sorry I have not given an update earlier, but the situation got progressively worse, and so I was taking some time to figure out what to say. So Celeste, as some of you may know, we got her on Thursday of last month. The same day we brought her into the vet, and she was having a lot of fluid buildup in her stomach. They thought maybe it was an egg, but they did an x-ray called a bird in a box, where they can detect any kind of reflections from the egg, or if there were any metals in her stomach. However, they didn't find anything, and because of that, they decided to test what the fluid was in her stomach that they drained. They drained about this much of fluid from her stomach, and then we decided to take her back to the vet 6 days later. And in those 6 days, there was growth in her stomach area again. So once it was drained, she did feel better. She was a little bit more active. However, this time when they went to drain the liquid, it was just blood. So they decided to poke her 2 times just to make sure that the first time they didn't accidentally get a blood vessel or something. However, the second time it was still blood, and because of that, the prognosis was not great. They said that the outcomes were going to be, if we decided to do surgery or things like that, or begin treatment, they said that most likely she would pass away from the surgery because she's so small and she's so weak already. And since they don't know 100% what is wrong with her, it would be an experimental surgery where they would just open her up and look around to see what is causing it and if it is something that they could fix. And because of that, they said that they would not recommend it, just because they said like 99.9% chance that she's gonna pass away anyways, and they don't think it's worth putting her through such a difficult surgery with such a bad likelihood of an outcome. So because of that, we decided to put her down that day. I did get some test results from the vet about the fluid that was in her stomach, and they basically said it was an excludative fluid, which means that there were a lot of different proteins and cells inside of her stomach, but it didn't really narrow down what it was. They didn't see any cancer in her from that test. However, she says that it doesn't guarantee that it was not cancer. The vet thinks that most likely it was a reproductive disease that caused this, or it could also be cancer. She says that in budgies, especially ones that were purchased from a bird store, which this budgie was, their likelihood to survive such things and to live a really long, healthy life is minimal, because a lot of bird store budgies, they interbreed, so all of their DNA is messed up, and that causes them to have really short lifespans and cause them to have really bad health outcomes for like long-term effects. And because of that, I would not recommend people getting a budgie from a pet store. Also, there are a lot of people who buy budgies and then do not want them anymore, and so rescues always have a lot of different budgies available. And so I think that the most ethical thing that you guys can do is to just adopt from a rescue and try to And I understand that some people think that, oh, like the budgie is in the pet store and it's not being provided a good life, and so I want to save the bird. But unfortunately, you saving the bird is causing this whole problem to grow, because the breeders are getting money from all these purchases, and so they're just going to continue to breed. They will stop breeding once there's no money involved in it, right? If we just stop buying all these pet store birds, then there's going to be no reason for them to continue to breed, because no one's going to buy them, right? So I think that would be the best outcome for breeders. I know not all breeders are terrible, but being in the rescue, you kind of see like the worst of the worst. And unfortunately, Celeste did not have good outcomes from this. And so, yeah, I'm sorry the update has been so, it has taken me so long to give you an update. But yes, that's all I wanted to say on this topic. Thank you for listening, and I know you guys were rooting for her, but I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.